Giant stride, finishes up very, very well. This is the best work we're going to watch today.
There's no question about that. Look at him. The rider is motionless. He's just sitting along for the ride here, and a pretty good final time, 1 minute and 4/5. You're going to see that.
That's reaching right there.
Yeah, that is really reaching. And I like Tom's comments about alluding this work to those of Midnight Loot last year. I mean, he's got that big, rangy stride, and you can just picture him next weekend galloping down the center of the track under Garrett Gomez and being a factor in the finish of the Breeders' Cup Sprint.
Gallego finishing up 5 furlongs and 1 minute and 4/5, preparing for the Breeders' Cup Sprint. As mentioned, TVG is very proud now to be associated with the mile on the turf for the next few years. Here are the pre-entries for this year's TVG Mile.
Certainly are, and as usual, full fields here, especially with a lot of the Europeans. All eyes will be on Goldacova, and then there is Courageous Cat, the 3-year-old for Bill Mott. Mr. Sydney, we reported yesterday, will be going in the dirt mile, so don't factor him into the equation here. And Finelli, who won a Breeders' Cup Challenge race earlier this summer and was second in the Woodbine Mile.
Let's take a look at one of the pre-entries for the TVG Mile. Cowboy Cal this morning here at Santa Anita, working a half mile on the turf. Kevin Willey aboard.
Well, Cowboy Cal's coming in the race the right way. He won the Oak Tree Mile, Grade 2, here at Santa Anita in his last start on the 10th, and he's a front-running type of horse. A horse that's going to try to use his speed to win this race, to win this Breeders' Cup race. So what I'm looking for is not only how well he's getting over the ground, which is quite nicely there, but also what kind of course he's keeping. Late in that race, in his last race, he was definitely drifting out at the end of the race. Garrett Gomez trying to hold him in with the right-handed stick. When you watch him work today, and he's going to be working around the dogs, that's those cones that are protecting the inside of the turf course, to me, he keeps a very straight course, Simon.
I was very impressed with this work because I'd noticed him in the Burner Baruch at Saratoga and the Oak Tree Mile. In fact, in the Oak Tree Mile, he started to get out at the half-mile pole. That is typical of this horse in the afternoon. We don't see it here. A very tight turf track this morning around those dogs. He maintains a straight course and appears to be handling himself very, very well for trainer Todd Pletcher. Got to be very happy with what we see here.
Final time for the half mile, 48 seconds flat. Cowboy Cal preparing for the TVG Mile. 2 days of championship racing, Friday and Saturday here at Oak Tree. It's a great bargain, just $10 for general admission, but it's nice to also have a seat, and you can still find them at breederscup.com to purchase tickets for either day or both days. Friday and Saturday, Breeders' Cup tickets on sale now. When we return, we'll talk about horses in 2 different divisions. Informed decision, can she upset Ventura, defending champ in the Filly and Mare Sprint? And Midshipman is back, but in a much different race this time around. TVG is not only the place with the most insight into the Breeders' Cup World Championships, it's also the place where you can make money on these 2 spectacular days of racing. Become a TVG account holder now, and if you sign up, we have a special promotion, bet 50, get 50. Go to tvg.com or pick up the phone and call 1-888-PLAY-TVG. As a TVG account holder, you can take all the information you gain here on the works and turn it into some great opinions on Friday and Saturday into some very large pools. Look at some of these guarantees. On Ladies' Day, a $500,000 guarantee in the Pick 6. My man Graham Cunningham is going to love that. And then take a look at the Pick 4, $1 million guaranteed there. Moving on to Saturday, the guarantees get even bigger. $2 million guaranteed in that Pick 6 pool, and then 2 Pick 4s with guarantees of $1 million plus, including that final one, $1.5 million. Let's look at another division now. Pre-entries for the Filly and Mare Sprint. Ventura was one of the most dominating winners last year on those 2 championship days of racing. She's coming in great form. She's working great. But informed decision, you could make the same case for her. She's coming in great form as well.
She has touch. She's won 7 of her last 8 starts. She's 10 for 13 lifetime. And in my opinion, just look at the pre-entries there. This is really a 2-horse race. It's going to be a matchup between Ventura, the defending champ, and informed decision as well.
We are going to take a look at informed decision this morning at Keeneland. Our thanks to G.D. Hieronymus in the Keeneland Television Department for helping us get this work. And we must also let you something know about the final time you're going to see. I'll mention Barry Weissman is aboard.
Yeah, this is a final time that was not official. There were no clockers at Keeneland this morning, so we hand-timed this ourselves and time codes off the tape, trying to get an accurate time exactly what informed decision went in. But you can see she's just traveling along there. She's probably a pretty good workhorse. We know she loves the synthetic surface here, and she's seems to be moving in exceptional fashion, has a lead changes on cue. And to this point, I'm very happy with what we see, Tom.
And I am too. You know, when you're going to watch Informed Decision come out of the turn here, she's going to be well off the rails, Simon. And initially that was a concern to me, but later in the show we'll watch her stablemate Forever Together work, and she is also well off the rail. So obviously this is by design by Jonathan Shepard and not a concern. Look, these two horses have just finished running, and these are maintenance style works. You'll see that the rider's very quiet on top of Informed Decision, and just right at the very end is going to let her run.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see in a work. Just break off easy and finish up. Open up the lungs, stretch your legs the last 16th of a mile. There it is, 59.4 with the asterisk, the unofficial time. That's what we got.
Your private clocker.
Exactly.
Hand-timed as by our works crew, 59.4 Informed Decision, staying in form, headed to the filly and mare sprint. And when you look at Informed Decision and her record on synthetics, it's a lot like Fatal Bullet in our discussion yesterday. She's awesome on the synthetic surfaces.
She is. She's 6 for 6, and she's been to all the major synthetic circuits around the country. Keeneland, of course, 4 times, Arlington and Prescott. And she will be running late down the lane this weekend against Ventura.
Okay, let's take a look at the pre-entries for, I guess we'd have to call it the synthetic dirt mile. And Midshipman is a horse who, you know, obviously starred last year on one of the 2 Breeders' Cup World Championship days as a 2-year-old. What can we expect this year?
Well, we haven't seen a lot of him. He's only had 1 start this year. He's going to be lined up against some pretty quality horses in here, like PYRO and Nico Bowie, we saw work yesterday. Mr. Sydney, of course, Reddy's Echo for Todd Pletcher. So it's a deep field. But Midshipman, lightly raced. His comeback race was very, very good with Richard Migliore, and he worked earlier this morning, going 6 furlongs here at Santa Anita under Simon Harris. Let's take a look at that work as Simon Harris, longtime exercise rider on the East Coast, broke off there, and he's got this shadow roll, that white sheepskin noseband across the brow of his nose. You'll see when he comes down the lane. Tom will touch on this as he comes down the lane. Bit of a high head carriage, but this is, I mean, it looks like he's developed, Frank, since his 2-year-old year at least.
You know, I think this horse is going to be way over bet on Breeders' Cup Day because he got out really badly in the allowance win at Belmont there on the 18th of September, and he's shown me indications. Now, he wears blinkers in his races, and he's shown me indications of getting out again. I think when you put the pressure on this horse, when it comes to race time, he doesn't ever drop his head in this work, and Tom, I don't like this.
I'm with you, Frank. You can watch everything he does to encourage Midshipman down the lane. Is done with his right hand against his neck, and it's also to hold him in. He's getting off the rail. Watch that stick tap him on the shoulder, particularly here on the turn to try to hold him in. Still doesn't get the job done. He's well off the rail, and that's not where the rider wants him to be.
Final time for the 6 furlongs, 1:13. Midshipman for the dirt mile. PYRO was out this morning as well. 5 furlongs, legendary Angel Cordero Jr.
Well, we talked about equipment. You're watching PYRO right there. That piece of equipment he has when he comes out behind the box there is called a sure win, and it's designed to give the rider a little more control over him. That's that white piece that's attached to the bridle on his cheeks and actually goes up his nose and attaches between his ears. You know, PYRO to me is a, you know, kind of a war horse. Been around, gets it done. You know, he slaps the ground hard when he works, but as I recall from other shows we've done, that is PYRO.
Yeah, slow work here. Angel Cordero up. I think he's a better 1-turn horse than what he's going to face here at 2-turn work. 2-turn race, and he seems a little more aggressive in this work. That's probably because he's going a little slower, especially for a horse that makes that big, bold move from off the pace here. Got that high head carriage. You see Angel Cordero, the genius above him there, just bringing this one home in very, very conservative fashion here. That's how I would really grade this work. A conservative work, 5 furlongs at about 103 and 2.
And not being asked, Simon.
Yep.
PYRO preparing for the dirt mile, just an easy way around the track here this morning. You heard 5 furlongs, 103 and 2. Crown of Thorns out as well, traveling the same distance. Janine Painter is up. Only Crown of Thorns, unlike PYRO, is going to work in company.
Yes, he's working in company with a horse called Meteor. Crown of Thorns is on the outside. Meteor, the 3-year-old colt who won the Grade 2 La Jolla here, is his workmate down on the inside. And you can see, we saw Crown of Thorns galloping yesterday. He's a big, robust individual, and probably takes a little work to get him fit. He's making his 3rd start off the layoff, so the stablemate here just dragging him along, keeping his mind on business here. And what do you make of this from here on out, Tom?
Well, Simon, I reviewed his works, and some are fast and some are slow. You get the idea that Crown of Thorns is a horse that only does what he has to do. Therefore, let's give him a workmate, give him something to shoot at, something to make him competitive. That's why we work these horses in company. And when you watch Crown of Thorns down the lane, you can see they're doing just enough with him to keep him interested.
Yeah, he is. He's just, you know, finishing heads up with his stablemate here and not really being asked. The instructions here from both riders will probably finish their work heads apart. That's exactly what they do. grade 1 and a star for the exercise riders for getting around there in 59 and 4 as advertised.
That would rank 16th out of 61 works at the distance this morning.